Kamala Harris sitting down for a town hall with Charlamagne the God. When pressed on if she supports reparations, she sidestepped and says it needs to be studied. Harris also defending her constant repetitive answers. Listen to this.
Well, what do you say to people who say you stay on the talking points?
I would say you're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, listen, here's the thing. So repetition is important. And for that reason, yes, at my rallies, I say the same thing when I go to Detroit as I do in Philly, as I do wherever I am, to make sure that people hear and receive what I think are some of the most critical issues that are at stake in this election.
How is that answer, Dana?
Well, I'm just thinking, like, what is going to happen if somebody says they're against reparations? Like, what? I mean, because I actually don't know what she really thinks. Telling somebody that it needs to be studied means that you don't want to answer the question. That's what they always do. That's like, let's just study it some more. Like, you know what you actually think. Mm-hmm. You just don't want to say it because you're afraid. Why are you so afraid to just answer the question?
And Janine, she said she repeats everything over and over again because she needs to drill it through the dumb public's head.
I'm not sure she understood the question, because the question was, why do you repeat things often? And her answer was, repetition is important whether I'm in Detroit or Philly or, quote, wherever I am. I think she took it to mean she gives the same speech in Detroit that she gives in Philly, that she gives wherever I am. It's not even sinking in her head that she repeats herself over and over in the same speech. Because the answer to that would have to be because I think that the American population is stupid.
Harold Ford Jr.
It's a practice in politics. When you get tired as a candidate of saying something, that means the public may have heard it once or twice. So I get her. I understand. I think I understand what she's saying there, and I think I understand what you're saying. You're saying that she repeats herself in her speeches, and she would argue, I do it because of that reason. President Trump does it. President Obama did it. President Bush did it. President Biden did it. President Clinton did it. It's a feature of politics. This notion, I want to just push back a little bit. The notion that she is somehow another difficult on African-American men, and that somehow another, I've heard a couple of theories that African-American men who are not voting for her might be sexist. I don't think that's the case. That African-American men think that she locked up too many criminals, as if African-American men want criminals out of jail. That's silly. I love her record as a prosecutor. I love her record not only as a prosecutor locking up people who committed crimes in America, but people who try to commit crimes coming into the country.
Did she ever first see a criminal case in a courtroom?
I don't know the answer to that.
So how do you know what her record is?
Well, you just said that she locked up in your own opening, you said she locked up 2,000 men, didn't you?
That was in what she is saying, and that what her detractors are saying. I'm saying you like her record.
But if she locked up 2,000,
that's a question by Charlamagne the God.
No, you said that in your first.
My question to you is, if she's such a great prosecutor, why did she never first see a criminal case?
I'm only going on what you said. She locked up I'm talking about black men are saying. Now, if you want to talk
about... Black men are saying she locked up.
It sounds like you guys agree, if that's what I'm hearing, that you guys are in complete agreement. Greg, you had Charlamagne the God on your show. Yep. How do you think he's going to do with this interview? It's feeding in right now.
Well, I think he learned a lot from doing my show. He observed an expert at this. I'm going to just finish my thought that, like, for a guy, voting for Kamala is like getting a massage from a dude.
And that is not acceptable.
That is not acceptable. You brought up when they say about reparations, needs to be studied. That's all they want. The activists just want the gravy train to themselves so they could have conferences, paid for lunches, maybe a business class flight to Austin, Texas. It's great in the springtime. We could have a conference there. It's basically, this is what Newsom did in California. All you do is just keep kicking that can down the road, because while you're kicking it, you're also paying people who are on the committee. We're on the committee to assess reparations. But if it happens, and if it happens in your state, you got to move. You just have to move, because you know what? You shouldn't be paying for somebody else's deeds who's not alive. That's war. No one's going to make me do that.
And we want to clarify, if there's a woman, it's okay if she gets a massage by a man.
No.
Oh,
yes, of course.
It's very complicated. But I will definitely not be booking the male masseuse. even if he's the only one available. And I'm
You're just
really
going to go
knotted
for a
up.
facial instead?
Shut up, Dana.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.